Okay, helmet cam, cockpit cam, sync 'em up, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, obviously don't want to do 30 mile an hour. BMW drivers. I need to do like a 12,000 mile ownership review, don't I? Shall we? Let's get the gripes out the way. What don't I like? BMW, what were you thinking? Now that button, I felt like I was on a racehorse.
That.
I'm turning into the Victor Meldrew of motovlogging. I'm so sorry. Let's try that again. So Bruce, what do you like about the BMW R1300GS? Oh, funny you should ask. Right then folks, just picked up the tractor from Group 1 in Brighton. Just had the 12,000 mile service done. How much do you think? Come on. You folk out there love to have a pop at GS's, say how expensive they are to run, how expensive they are to service. Come on, 12,000 mile service, that's the valve clearance, the big one. How much? No. What about you at the back? What did you say? Say that again. Yes, you are right. 400 and I think it was 53 of His Majesty's pounds. Okay, it's not like 20p, but that is cheap as chips. Over 10 years ago, when I was riding the Gixxer, the GSX R1000, the valve clearance on that was about 750 quid, and that's over 10 years ago. The most expensive one I've had was, I think it was at Vines, and it was about 500 odd quid. That was just for the service. Where BMW bends you over and fish you royally is when you need parts. So the parts, yes, you will pay a premium for them. But general servicing, the old tractor, lovely, cheap bike to service. I'm hot off the M1000R. What a difference jumping on this. I mean, I feel like I'm sat on a sofa with my arse scraping along the floor. But this feels like it has loads more low down grunt. Oh, I mean, it's just biting, it's just itching to go. Even the M1000R, you just had to wind the revs up a little bit to get the same level of punch, grunt, the torque that this has got. This has got 100 and... can't remember what the torque is, 140 odd, maybe more. Whereas the M1000R, that has, I think it's 111 Newton meters of torque. A lot more bhp, it's got 211 I think it is, compared to 145 odd that this thing's got. I mean, just that there, I mean, I hit a smidgen over motorway speeds in third gear. I mean, that, if I was to have done that on the M1000R, I'd be in France by now. It was insane, but so much fun. But yeah, back to the tractor. So I have the QD exhaust fitted. It's a little bit fruitier sounding than the stock one. Bearing in mind it's only just gone on, so the exhausts do take, you know, they do take a couple of thousand miles to sort of bed in and start sounding their best. So I've got to give it a little bit of time. And I've also got the decat, I've got the full system for this, so I need to get the headers fitted as well at some point and see what effect that has. But I've got to admit, I am actually quite happy to be back on the tractor. I tell you what, I need to do like a 12,000 mile ownership review, don't I, of the tractor. Shall we do it now? Shall we? Okay, let's do it. So the brand spanking new BMW R1300GS has just had the 12,000 mile service. Folks over at Group 1 in Brighton, awesome service as always. I will always shout from the rooftops about good service. Ah, pants, that's where I should have come off. Oh, slow down, smart. Let me put that on cruise control. I love this adaptive cruise control, I really do. When it first was launched a couple of years ago, I think I tried it on the RT, and I remember thinking, what a gimmick, who needs that on a motorbike? Me, I do. It is awesome. It's like keyless. I love keyless. Some people hate it. Just one of those things. Oh, I'm not coming off here. It's trying to take me, route me back. Nah, I'm staying on here. Reroute, please, Callie. Yeah, I mean, look, it just sorts itself out. You set the speed. Well, you know how adaptive cruise control works, don't you? You don't need me to tell you. Now, that button, I mean, it takes a while to get used to that button, that favourite button there. You allocate, you select which of the functions you want to be allocated to the rocker switch here, the up-down switch. So at the moment, I have it, see the screen, how the screen's moving up and down? I have it set to that. In fact, no, I don't normally like that. Let me remove that. This is what I don't like, is that, I mean, I'm doing this out of my peripheral vision, but it's still, I think, to begin with, until you get used to it, it does still take your eye off the ball a little bit. And people will say, well, you should stop to do that. In that case, if you're saying that you have to stop to do all this sort of stuff, then it should just all be on the main menu, shouldn't it? Why have it here on a favourite? Anyway, let's get the gripes out the way. What don't I like? Yeah, that. I wish the heated grips, I wish they were just the old button back there. Just give me a dedicated heated grip button, please, so I don't have to fanny about with this. What else don't I like? The seat isn't as comfortable as... In fact, let's get on the twisties. Let's get on the twisties, and then we'll have a little chat about what I don't like. Okay, so what do I not like about the R1300GS? So I said the seat, that instrument cluster thing, that hamburger button, the favourite button. Yeah, I don't like that. What else don't I like? Foot pegs. The foot pegs are just a little bit higher and further back than the 1250, 1200. Something I didn't notice initially, but even jumping on the 1250 and 1300 in the review I did down with Toro, I didn't really notice that. It was only after I did the America trip and I spent some time on the Triumph 900 Rally Pro. Then when I came back and I jumped on the bike at the airport, I felt like I was on a racehorse. And since then, I've never really lost that feeling. It just, you know, my feet feel like they're much higher up. And bearing in mind, I've just come off the M1000R, where the pegs are much more of a sport-orientated location. You know, they're much higher up and further back than this. But yet this still feels a little bit sportier than the GS should, in my opinion. And I do notice it. And I think that's also to do with the actual foot pegs themselves. BMW, what were you thinking? Putting these pishy little cocktail stick things on this bike. This bike should have big, chunky foot pegs. Proper big ones, like they used to have. Instead they've got these little things, and they are annoying, much like me whinging like I am just now. But they are annoying, you know, they are uncomfortable once you've spent a fair bit of time on the bike, you're doing big miles in the day, they do start to annoy you. Oh, it's effortless, look at this. Oh, look, people like this, it's a 60-mile-an-hour road and they're doing 40. Probably calling me a hooligan because I'm doing the actual speed limit. Anyway, ooh, that exhaust does sound good. This is the QD exhaust, Italian company. It's expensive. This was about 750 quid for the slip-on, and then I bought the headers as well, so it came to about 1800 quid I think I spent. Ridiculous, but the Jekyll and Hyde probably sounds better, to be honest with you. And that's about 1650, 1700 I think. And you're effectively getting 3 exhausts in one with them. Back to what I don't like. Yeah, those foot pegs. I've got the Lone Rider ones, and I did actually try and mount them on the bike. But there was an issue with the left-hand side, with the gear side. The foot peg just was not fitting in the housing. Either my particular bike, there's something wrong with the housing, or the Lone Rider one wasn't machined right. So they're going back to Lone Rider to their R&D department to have a look at in France, and they're sending me out a replacement set. So hopefully that'll fix the issue. What else don't I like? The engine. The engine with the stock exhaust is really quite rattly and wheezy. It's got a weird Triumph sort of triple whine to it, which I don't like. It annoys me. It's really rattly, more rattly than my 1250 was. So again, another reason why I've went and bought this can is I'm hoping that sorts out the acoustics a little bit. It has to an extent. I can still hear the whine. You hear it there? That noise, just like that. That gets on my wick. I'm turning into the Victor Meldrew of motovlogging. I'm so sorry. I've been in such a bad mood recently, I really have. Poor old Mrs. Teapot. Poor lass. She's been putting up with pelters. It must be a night. I mean, I'm a nightmare to live with anyway, but I must have been a particular pain in the bum of late. I'm sorry, dear. I've had a good day out on the bike today and a bit of fun yesterday, so I feel good. I needed it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, things I don't like about the 1300. That emergency call system restricted. That constantly comes up. It went into the blooming for them to check that out. So that's obviously not being fixed. Oh, that gets on my wick. Constantly that comes up. All the effing time. Do not get this SOS bollocks. Just don't get it. Just don't crash, okay? Or have your phone on you when you do crash. Says me that has my phone on the bike. Ah, well, never mind. Right, let's get onto some actual proper roads. National, sync 'em up, 1, 2, 3. Still loads of traffic. 25 to 4 on a Friday in the southeast. Oh yeah. Negatives, what are the negatives? So, seat, foot pegs, the foot peg height, the engine noise. I've had the starter issue where sometimes it didn't want to start. That seems to be, touch wood, that seems to be rectified now. What else? Oh, brake lights, that was the other thing. The integrated brake light indicator tail light thing that BMW now seem to be doing. I mean, just no. Just no. It's dangerous. Point blank, it is dangerous. Done a thing on it. I've now got the Weiser dongle fitted to mine. This is all money that we need to pay as consumers. We have to pay more money to fix these issues that just shouldn't be there. That's what really hacks me off. I got mine done up at a bike thing. Again, I've done a video that includes it. Just check out a Bike Things website. They do bundles and all sorts for this bike. Well, for every bike. But they're called the Weiser. I'll put links on the screen now, links in the description. Have a look. So that's what I don't like. What about what I do like about the GS R1300 or R1300GS actually? Let's try that again. So Bruce, what do you like about the BMW R1300GS? Oh, funny you should ask. That the grunt of this thing is just, oh, I mean, it's wheeling. It'll do power wheelies in third gear. Well, that was a junction. Sometimes even fourth if you get the revs right. It's phenomenal. It pulls all the way, just all the way. Power everywhere. The handling, it's different. The handling of this is different to the 1200s, 1250s. I never rode an 1150 or anything before that, so I've no idea. But the 12s and 1250s, the power used to be literally at the foot pegs, and the bike would act like a weeble almost, you know. It's really quick and easy to turn into a tight corner. But then I found at speed to hold a corner, or to maybe just tighten that up when you were getting a lick on sports bike corners. You know, you'd have to be leading with your chin and get your shoulders into it to get it around and make it hold a nice steady line. Now the 1300, they've raised that centre of gravity, so it's now sort of, I would say it's sort of between your ankles and mid-shin. It's raised up about maybe 6 to 8 inches, 6 to 9 inches or so. It's about that big, isn't it? 9 inches. Anyway, yeah, it's raised up a smidgen. And what that's done with the handling is it's made it much more sort of neutral. So when you come to a corner, it doesn't just flop in. It's just much more balanced in the way it reacts. So to begin with, I remember when I did the 1250 versus 1300 sort of back-to-back review out at Toro Adventure. When we got onto the really tight, sort of hairpin tight corners, I almost preferred the 1250 because it would just flop into those tight corners. But then as the day or a couple of days wore on, I started to actually get used to how the 1300 handled those corners. And then I was like, no, actually, I think I prefer the 1300. And that stage, you know, I've done quite a bit of touring on this now. Up in the Picos, Pyrenees. Well, actually, I wasn't in the Pyrenees, was I? I had the Ducati in the Pyrenees. But I've done quite a lot of touring on it. Obviously done 12,000 odd miles. And yet, I definitely favour the way the 1300 handles. Could be a bit of Marmite, as with everything though. Some people out there might still prefer the 1250 Nationals. Other thing I really like the looks. I've got to say, I really like the looks. I wasn't sure to begin with, particularly on the launch when I saw it. I was like, not sure about that, but I took a punt. What a view, wow. And I've got to say, when I got to Group 1 to pick up the bike, because I hadn't seen one in the flesh before I ordered it. Really took a gamble, hadn't ridden one. When they took the blanket off and I saw it in the flesh, I loved it. I really do like that X headlight. And I'm even warming to the GSA. It took a day, and then I started seeing the odd picture. Yeah, I think I'm coming right round to the GSA. But what about the 1300? What else do I like? I'm trying to think of things that I really like about the 1300 that are different to the 12 and 1250. So I've talked about the grunts, I've talked about the looks. The build quality, I mean, it is a marked step up in build quality. My mate Pete, when we were doing the ceramic coating of the bike, that's something he just kept commenting on, was like, oh my god, you can really see that they've gone to town here and raised the bar. I need to get some fuel. Roads. I'm on my way up to the in-laws. You might have noticed I'm not in Kent anymore. I'm on my way up to the in-laws today, and I'm just following a Kalimoto route. I came off the A1 just north of Peterborough, and it's taken me on some stonking roads, some of which we just did actually in the north tour I've just done with chicken strips. But some of these are new. I must say, they're rather good. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this handling is just, I mean, it's just beautiful. I've just come off the M1000R that I had whilst this was in having the service. So I've just done a vid on that. And that thing, it just felt like an absolute ballistic missile, which I'm sure it was, but a lot of the time I'd look down, and when I wasn't doing just insane speed, other times I'd look down and I'd feel like I was going quite quick, being a little bit naughty. I'd look down and I wasn't even doing the speed limit. I was like, oh wow. Then I jumped on this, and initially this is way quicker off the mark, but it doesn't sound quick, which is the difference. That M1000R sounds amazing with that Kropovich system that it's got on it, and the inline 4 engine. It just sounds racy and fast. But this is almost the opposite. You know, you think, okay, we're doing all right, we're having a bit of fun. Nationals! And you look down and you're going stupid speed. It's like, oh my god. There's whispers they're going to bring out an M1300 or a 1300MGS, however they're going to pronounce it. M1300GS, I imagine. Oh my god. That I simply must ride. Please, somebody somewhere. Please, let me have a shot. That actually has me salivating at the thought. Be interesting to see how they're going to do that, to be honest. The GS is supposed to be an all-terrain bike, isn't it? Any road, any street. Into the 30. Go. These brakes are lovely. They're not as like instant and rock solid as the M1000R, but they absolutely do the job. The M1000R just seems to grab hold of the wheels and stop you, but not like bang like that. It's progressive but instant. Does that make sense? You know, it's not snatchy. I mean, I thought these brakes were superb, then I tried them. Ooh. Anyway, right, come on. What else do I like about this? So, looks, power, handling, build quality. I should have thought about this before I actually went out to film it, shouldn't I? Right, let's get out of this little village. Helmet cam, copper cams, and come on, 1, 2, 3. We're playing a game. Look, it's just gone 0 miles on my fuel range. And I've got 4.1 miles to the nearest petrol station. Yes, I know, but this is the situation we find ourselves in. And I've had this before where it said you've got like 5 miles left, and then when you get there, there's still loads of fuel left in the tank. You know, this is a 19 litre tank and you put in like 12 litres or something. So yeah, I suppose we're going to play the game. How much actually is in the GS tank when it says 0? I hate this game, makes me feel sick. I played it on the GSX R1000 once on the big trip, and I got 163 miles to the tank before it went dry. Nationals, but I don't think I'm going to find out. All I'm going to do is whack it into 5th and just get some momentum going, then whack it into 6th, and that'll do me, thanks. Oh dear. 3 miles. Come on GS, get us there. Hardly touching that throttle. Unlike we were doing earlier. That's kind of why I'm in this predicament. I was having such fun on these roads on this bike. And when I went to use Google Maps, because Cali, bless it, it's good for working out, for planning your routes and stuff, but the petrol station info and road closures, there's none of that is particularly up to date. So I just stick with Google Maps and the like for that. And the closest one this way was 12 miles. Whoa. 2 miles, come on, you can do it. Well, they say it's good to get through your fuel, you know, to give it a right good run through every now and then. And we've had a right good run through today. Wow, awesome run today. This bike, I love this bike. I love it. I know it maybe sounds like there's more things I don't like about the 1300, but they're just niggles, you know, they're little niggles, but it's still not enough to stop me loving the bike. It's not engaging enough, and I do need to tweak that, but you know, I'll be able to do that. The thing is that it's almost like it's too refined. This sounds really weak, but it's too good. You know, it's like too refined. There's not that raw bit to it, even when you are spanking it along the roads and doing things that big bikes like this just shouldn't do. It still makes it effortlessly easy, and you don't even feel like you're going that quick sometimes. Whereas bikes like the KTM and the Ducati, they're shouting and roaring at you, and it's a much more visceral experience. 0.6 miles away. Come on, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We can roll down this hill. In fact, that's exactly what we're going to do. Markham Moor, Shell petrol station. We're coming to you. We're coming to you. But the Beamer for me, the GS, it's a package, you know. Oh, that's me. That's where I want to go. Sorry about that. Apologies. Sorry. Sorry, I'm really on fumes here. Right, I'm here. I made it. Thank God for that. Boom. Whew, right. Let's fill up. I wonder how much we're going to get in. Let's have a look. Shall we do that? 90 litre tank. Let's see how much we get in. What are you guessing? What are you thinking? Come on. Tell me.
Higher, lower.
Oh, still going. The last time I was here that said that. Electric recharge coming soon. Right, we're going to brim it.
say that's full. And the winner is 18.37 litres. I would say we were nearly out.